Hola, and welcome to episode 32 of Word to Your Mama. I'm Ritz P. Today we have Shane Jessup, aka Ginger Snappers, aka Ginger Sprite. He is a painter, designer, and a quality Caucasian. That is correct. Today we talk about Jumbo's Clown Room, one of LA staples. That's how we entered the convo. What he's been doing with his luxurious long locks during the panty, how it feels working up 13 stories off the ground when he's afraid of heights. We get into mental health, being an ally, and trying to avoid being a white savior. A little bit of his skate history, how he met one of his best friends at Foster Freeze, his dormant ginger gene, and so much more. Also, this episode drops on May 31st, which happens to be this crazy-ass Gemini's birthday. That is correct. I was going to post someone else's convo to drop today on Monday the 31st, but I had his, and I was like, you know what? It's his birthday, and a Monday drop on his birthday with him would be perfect. So, Feliz Born Day to Ginger Snappers, Quality Caucasian. And as always, stay tuned for the Supernatural Bear Corner. We'll see what it gets into as it's his Uncle Ginger Snapper's B-Day. They've been partners in crime with the ladies since Jump. So it'll be interesting what he has to say. But yeah, let's get into it.
They look like
They
that.
look a little rough.
Yeah, I call one Shambles. The other one I call Adolf because he has the Hitler mustache. And then I don't know what happened to Panther, the black cat. I know a neighbor kept trying to adopt it and it would escape and just come back to live the street life.
It's tough out there in Little Armenia, right? You're Little Armenia.
I mean, if I walk 5 feet, it's Thai town.
Thai town.
They changed everything, They changed all the street signs and everything, and that was weird to me.
So we probably talked about this already, but did you know that LA has the largest Thai population outside of Thailand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we got the bomb ass Thai food.
I know.
I mean, not we. I don't live there anymore, but you know what I mean.
I live in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's actually what I ate on Monday night.
Nice and nice.
Shout outs to Krung Ted.
Nice. I miss eating
spot
there.
next to Jumbo's.
CCC.
Yeah.
And what was the last time you've been to Jumbo's?
I have no sense of time anymore.
Pre-pandemic? During the pandemic? Was it open during the pandemic?
No, they shut down real quick. Just from what I've seen and who I follow on Instagram, they've, the employees would get together and do like Zoom donation.
Strip? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, like burlesque.
Yeah.
Because it was never like a strip club. It was like a bikini bar.
Yeah.
But I never went there for that. I went there for the cheap drinks, and it's just a weird LA staple.
It is. It's like a rite of passage. Like you had to have, if you're in your 20s, you had to roll to Jumbo's.
When people visit from out of town.
Skilled ladies, though. Skilled ladies back in the days.
That's what I'm saying. They're amazing.
Pre-pasty times. I remember going there.
They were amazing, amazing people. The bartenders were great. Like everything was just
good music. It wasn't like it was quality.
And that's what I loved about it is the dancers chose the music.
Yeah.
There's a jukebox, and I remember I brought somebody there for the first time, and they went and tried to put music on.
You're like, no.
And it was like a record scratch. Just like, the whole place just turned around like, what are you even doing near that thing?
I
The
believe
dancers
I
put
saw
on their own song.
someone, I think that's where I saw one of the best things ever, which I believe is a dancer stripping
With the pizza.
to the Faint song
Oh, okay.
that me and Mr. D and Karen, we love, and it's about stripping. And I was like, yeah, this is LA. This is my shit right here.
Yeah.
Skills.
And one of the girls she went super viral with she just had a slice of pizza on stage. And
Holding
just ate
it?
She eating it.
Oh, she was eating it. Oh yeah.
While
Skills.
while dancing. And
Skills.
And I think she wrote that she made the most money ever in her life that night.
Nice. I mean, it's and we're talking about like a different types of skills. Like we're not talking Magic City level skills, which I've never been, but
No. It's
another
not
level.
Sam. It's not Sam's Hoff, bro. Like
no.
Where you think someone's tapping you on the shoulder and it's a cheek.
Yeah, or like it's so small. There's not even the room or the height of the pole to do the acrobatics and show sportsmanship and athleticism.
But there's some.
It's decent, but it's another level of quality for
and
sure.
It's more rock and roll. It's more kind of like a Suicide Girls type of.
Yes.
A lot of the girls that were there back in the day were Suicide Girls and stuff like that. But you're recording all this, aren't you?
Sure am.
All right.
But I don't have to put it in.
Hi, Mom.
Just a combo. Ginger Snappers, just a combo. Yeah. So now that you're aware, let's start it off by just how you're doing. We are. When is this? This will air probably in June, but we are recording in May. May 2021's. How are you doing so far? How was your COVID timers?
I just looked at my calendar. It's my 62nd week. Since they announced the lockdown.
Damn.
62nd week. I'm good. Things are changing quick. Sometimes too fast for me. Sometimes. I mean, I wish we could go faster. Yeah. But also I want to be safe. Like, I don't know. I'm just maintaining,
You got the long locks?
I do, and it's horrible.
I think it looks good.
No, you don't. I know you hate.
No, I like it.
Hair on dudes.
No, but you're not in that. You're nowhere near that territory.
Okay.
And you wouldn't wear it half.
I don't do that half. I do this. I still do my side split from when I had short hair. But at night I throw it in a ponytail. I'm not proud of it.
Is it long enough for you to bun it?
Not really, no. But
okay.
And the story behind that was April 15th of last year, I shaved my head. And one of my favorite things in the world is getting a fresh haircut. And I've always had the same haircut. And it's kind of military. It's kind of very the zero fade with just a little bit on top, like parted on the side. Very regimed. I'm a man of that kind of thing. Like everything's regimed in my life. Like my morning routine is the same. Everything is. So I love these haircuts every 2 weeks. So I shaved my head on April 15th of last year, 2020, and said, I'll get a haircut when I'm fully vaccinated. And this is before the talk of even vaccinations even being available. So now I'm like a week away.
And so what are we doing? Are we going back to the same look?
Yeah, I'm very boring. It's gonna go the same. But also it's like if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and it looks good. You got the ginger hair with the glasses. The
And that was an issue
goatee.
because I just got new glasses yesterday. And when I was there trying on glasses, I was like, I shouldn't be doing this because I have long hair, which I'm not going to have for very long. And I have to wear a mask while trying on
Oh,
glasses.
yeah.
So I'm like, oh, what am I doing? And I just dropped mad loot on glasses that I don't know what I'm going to look like in a week. But
I don't know. I don't know why you do that. You should do what I do. Zenny Optical. Get a grip of
I
pairs, right?
know, but I had to get my I had to do the eye exam.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I mean? They won't let you. I know. So I did, but I sent you a picture yesterday of how bad my glasses were.
yeah, that's pretty bad. I don't know how you saw it. It was like a Pollock paint
It was. That's
on
yeah,
your lenses. It's paint
yeah. So I had to get something.
right away. Well, now that you have your prescription,
Yeah.
if they gave you your PD, if they didn't, you can measure that shit yourself. Get your Zennies. And
I know. So
they can
now I'm gonna.
transition, bloom, bloom, and it'll be like
Yeah.
probably half the price of what you paid for those right there. Hot
I
tip,
know.
kids. Hot tip.
I know. But yeah, I'm gonna order. I'm gonna try to move forward and being more responsible. So I have like painting glasses.
Yeah, painting glasses. Then you
And
can have like some backup pairs already right there in case they crack.
yeah,
Paint gets on them, shit like that. Get different
now that they're
colors if you want to go to different colors.
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna expand my portfolio
Yeah,
in 2021.
in the 2021s. So speaking of painting, I wanted to ask, what shit was starting to open up and you're going back out and painting and, you're an amazing artist and, designer and all this shit. But I wanted to find out more of your, the kind of the level of painting you're doing on these big ass walls. Like what's the how many stories up are you? How much, like, what is it in feet or what are the measurements so people get an idea of how far you're up there in the sky, but producing some dope shit.
I think the tallest I've done is 13 stories off the ground.
Woo!
I know there's a lot of people that do larger, but I think 13 was the tallest we've done. Definitely 11. Um, I don't know. It was just I just do these. I work with artists to paint these huge things, and it's just I wouldn't have imagined myself ever doing that. I'm scared of heights. I don't.
I was gonna say, like, how do you're scared of heights, but like you just zone out and listen to, like, I know you listen to stuff, but does that help you so that you don't freak out?
Yeah, I will. I should say I used to be more scared of heights,
Mm.
and like I would never do roller coasters, and I would never do things. But things have evolved, and now I'm doing like smaller roller coasters and things like that.
Oh, excuse.
Um, but when I'm working, I was trying to keep just one headphone in because you're working with other people,
Yeah.
and your life is in their hands also, and you
Mm.
need to be able to communicate. So I keep one headphone in, and I do listen to music and stuff. And I'm usually fine when I'm working, but the worst is like towards the end of the jobs. It's usually the artist is kind of going around doing the cleanups and everything that he can do,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm literally there just to work the machine.
Ooh.
And
You don't
that's
have
when
nothing to focus on.
yeah, that's when it can sometimes get rough. It gets claustrophobic, and
Oof.
you're like,
Oof.
I can't go anywhere right now. Like I
Oof.
literally can't go. It takes two people to run this machine, so I can't do it. But we got proper certification. We went to school and got the highest certification we could for the machines that we use
Mm-hmm.
on those big walls. So I mean, we're confident,
Yeah. You know what you're
and
doing.
it's yeah, and it's it's fun. And sometimes it's more fun than being on the ground where you're constantly being bombarded by questions and people talking to you. So. But yeah, it was just basically when you go out for the day, you bring snacks and you're like, I don't know when I'm coming down.
That's crazy.
You know?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's crazy. I was going to ask you about the certification. I couldn't think of the word. I'm out of it today, so I wrote in my notes, the paths to operate that shit.
Yeah.
But certification, a certain
Yeah,
certification.
certification.
But it's certification for that machine, and at that level, right? Like to go at that height, that's what you have to do.
Yeah, but we got the supervisor certification.
Oh.
And a lot of the people that we went to school with will never even step foot on those machines. But they're hired to go to construction sites and oversee the safety, and they have to be on site at all times while the machine's being used.
Got it.
In case anything happens, and there's a certain amount of torque on a torque wrench that you need for all the bolts, and there's you got to do the math on how far the arms come out off the building, but that usually falls on the actual people that install it and the engineers, because everything has to be approved by engineers.
Math kids,
and
you need it.
Weight limits and all. It's just a weird thing. So I think I could actually get jobs just in the construction field without ever getting on the machines.
Just having that certification.
Yeah, and I could just go through and do the safety checks, make sure everything's fine, and do all that. But
yeah,
it sounds boring. But and at the same time, we had to get OSHA training, and we had to do, I got certified with the boom lifts and scissor lifts and all that. Which, by getting all these certifications, it brought in a lot more work for me.
Yeah.
To work with a lot of different artists, and a lot of with I do a lot of corporate work. So working with corporate stuff, they're more. I think they're a little more easy-minded to hire me to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because you're certified on all fronts.
Yeah.
So talking about going a little bit back to the lockdowns, pandemic shit when we were like deep in it, I wanted you to talk a little bit more about the T-shirt that you did. The change is going to come. What was that for? Why you picked that? Quote that piece of a very famous song, and then who some of the sales benefited, and why you did that.
That was okay. So it was Sam Cooke's song. Mm-hmm. Change is gonna come. But also, hundreds of people have covered it and done a lot of it. The name of the company I worked with, or the project, was Together We Are Stronger. And it was a print house out of like San Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much right when the pandemic hit and everybody kind of went in lockdown, they started reaching out to artists and to do like fundraisers for artists, for you personally. So you got, I forgot the actual percentages, but they were just hooking up artists.
Yeah.
And they were print house, and they had time to do it because they were locked down too, pretty much.
Yeah.
And they were getting like 10% or something small. And it was just a great thing. And it was an old friend of mine, Seth Meeks, is the one who reached out to me, and he was working with them. And it was great. And then I think I came in about the third round. And by the second round, the country had already gone through so much with the murder of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement. Obviously it never went away, but it was more on people's minds again. There was people in the streets. There was people doing that.
Yeah.
So the majority of the artists were donating to Black Lives Matter. And then there was kind of I think I reached out to you too, and like, do you know anything about it? There was issues with, of course, because no matter what good thing is happening in the world, some people are going to shoot it down. The money wasn't going to the right places, not with this company, by any means, but people donating to Black Lives Matter movement. Maybe they were donating to the wrong place, or I don't know the full.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Sean White. What's his name?
Yeah.
Was involved.
Yeah, things like that, and it was just like it became this thing for me where it was like, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
So I asked if I could donate part of my proceeds to more of a mental health advocates for inner city Black men. And so, I mean, that's what I went with. But, everybody had their own different thing. I think I was one of the first artists to just say not just BLM. Like, I want to move over here.
Yeah.
And want to do more about the long-term effects of what the hell is happening in the world.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I tried to choose that. And I took a long time to try to find the proper place, and then research, and mad research, make sure that there was no like, I wasn't going to catch flack for it in the future that I donated to this place. Yeah. And then it turns out, they're in Tulum vacationing or something.
Yeah, like, totally.
I don't know. It was just it was such a weird year. Such a weird year about trust with anybody and everybody.
Because there's always going to be people, and I'm sorry, Sean White is the skater. No. Not him, Sean King.
Yes.
Let me just correct that.
You're just going straight at the gingers.
It's a ginger episode. But, people take advantage. We see it all the time when, with shit's going crazy. There's always like, the cockroaches and stuff, the rats that come out and take advantage of opportunity when, people are vulnerable and emotional and stuff like that. But, the shirt that you did, I got one for the Supernatural Bear. And if you go to, I'll have a link to it, but if you go to the Word to Your Mama site in the About section, he's wearing it. Yes. And you can see it. It's a beautiful design. And the proceeds went to Taraji, her organization that's named after her father, I believe.
Named after her father, yes. I'm going to butcher their name if I try to think it off the top of my head right now.
Yeah. I think it was Boris. I have it.
Yes, Boris. Cali Mucho was the print house that made them. And sorry, I'm really bad with.
No, it's okay. And I have a mental health resource page on Word to Your Mama that I bring up all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's part of that page. I'll have a link to in the show notes. And it's the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. Break the silence, break the cycle.
Yes. And I'm really proud of, I don't know how much I really raised for them, but to constantly hear about the foundation.
Yeah.
Since. And now one of the great things that they're doing. I love it. They were making a lot of noise, not that long ago. And I'm sure they'll be making a lot more.
Yeah. Especially with the pandemic, the lockdown, and mental health is on everyone's mind. And especially the fact that, we need to, in all groups, we need to normalize and destigmatize mental health and it being okay. Yeah. But especially in the brown, Black and brown communities where it's really not even discussed and it's really looked down upon. So I just always think about that, especially when the Supernatural Bear wears that shirt. And I just, I'm knowing about the foundation, and that one's kind of really more geared towards Black men, which is great, Yeah. And, there was a lack of resources, but since that time of your shirt till now, more are popping up, or there's more access to ones that we didn't know about, which I'll have them in the research page. But I mean, I think it's great. And how,
and it's hard to I think I've talked to you about this. It was like, it was hard to raise money for a group of men that I'm not involved in, but because sometimes you do feel like Sandra Bullock, like trying to save the inner city kid on the football. It's like, that's not what I'm trying to do, but I know I'm not as much as I'm affected. I'm not as affected as much as this other group of men at the time, specifically the men, just literally watching murder porn every day.
Yeah.
And this is just so I hope I just try to do a part without being the whole white savior complex comes into play too.
Yeah, and you're not that. And like I said, folks, this is, I do word to your mama to, give us a space for diverse voices, mostly people of color, indigenous, the whole spectrum. But when I do have white folks on here, we're talking about quality, kids. We're talking about quality. We're talking about allies. We're talking about what my niece came on to say, because, she's all up in the ethnic studies at UCLA right now. So the latest is called accomplices, the whites and those that are not of the groups that are in it to win it and helping. That's what Ginger Snappers. Shane Jessup right here, folks. Quality motherfuckers.
Well, I hope so.
Oh, for sure. And I love the fact, like, if you follow him already, or if you start following him, he's honest, and he wears his feelings on the sleeve, and he'll like do posts on social media and just be real about, mental health or what he's going through. And it's not all the time, but when you're doing it, I like it that, we need that shit. More dudes just stepping up and being like, yo, this is my shit. This is what I do with. This is da-da-da. Like, I really like that.
I've always tried to do that because I see it in so many of my peers, but they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, I see the insecurities, and I see the, depression dipping in, or I see, but it was like, why don't you guys talk about this?
Yeah.
Like, what if one random Facebook friend is like, oh, okay, I'm not alone. Like, this dude's going through it too, and that's, I just never understood, like, the secrecy behind it. And I try to make it funny, and I try to, make snap jokes on myself and things like that. But it's just, I mean, this is part of everyday life. This is what everyone's doing. So just be honest about it.
Yeah.
And I think that'll eventually help other people.
Yeah, I'm hoping, with one of the positives out of the pandemic is that people had time to slow the fuck down and be more introspective and see how it affects them, and how it's okay, because so many celebrities and, of all types, from all different industries, business, entertainment, sports, or, talking about it and being just open about it. So I feel like hopefully it stays, and it's not like shit opens up full blown and then we just go back to normal of ignoring shit and being in denial. But hopefully some of the shit has been planted. Okay, Ginger Snappers, because you do so many different things, we're going to enter the questions and comments from the audience, and I feel like that's going to I feel like that is going to really cover a lot of things. Cover a lot of things. So let's start with the first one. Easy breezy. What is his biggest failure, and how did he overcome it? And that's by, hopefully, once he has more time, a future guest, Sket One, aka Sket Uno, also part of your Herd Show crew.
Oh, biggest failure. I don't, without getting too, I mean, my love life. man, I don't. There's too many to count. I don't even know what's the biggest. Like it's just, but that's part of any professional career. Like you just take hits.
Yeah.
You know, you lose jobs. You learn and you just build from it. I wish I had a better answer for that. Like there's too many.
Well,
And I
give
would hope
us like,
everybody has the same thing.
yeah, you have to have all those L's. But what are maybe off the top of your head without maybe telling us what the failure was or what the big L was? What were some of the things you've learned over the course of so many failures and getting back up? I think that's the key, getting back up.
I think I don't know if this is fully answered the question, but learning to say no is a huge thing, and not trying to do everything that's thrown at you. Because a lot of
Mm,
times, you know, and also if things don't feel right, they're probably not right. You know, in a professional, actually in every aspect of your life, but
yeah.
in a professional thing, if the client's being weird, if something just makes you uncomfortable, they're not coming at you right. They're constantly trying to talk you down on money. They're trying to, you know, I don't know. It's just things like that. Just
Trust your
I
gut.
used to, yeah, I used to take on everything that was thrown at me, and then I just learned to just be like, no, that's not in my wheelhouse, and I'm not going to push myself to try to get this done. I don't know. I wish I had better answers for this question because it's a really good question. It just hit me out of left field.
No, those are good answers. I think that's good answers. I think you learn that you have to know when and where to say no. And that kind
And,
of protects you.
yeah, and to not overextend yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be a really good job, but you're doing these 6 other jobs, and you know you're not going to be able to give your 100% for
Yeah.
that job.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times I try to. I'm known for this is to like pass off jobs to people, especially in the mural community. I'll just be like, hey, you open these days? Like,
Yeah.
I think this would be better for you right now while I'm doing this, even though I want to do that job, but I'm already committed to this, you know, and just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, yeah, sounds like a cop out, but it's
No, 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 no.
all I really got.
Okay, let's go to the next couple of questions are by someone from episode 6, Kano Kid, the mild-mannered hooligan. And his first of two questions
These are the ones I was worried about.
the first of the two questions is, who's your favorite skateboarder of all time? Staying competitive in these dynamic times means having the right technology at work for your small or medium-sized business. Whether your goal is to grow, downsize, or modernize, Panoply BPO provides the right combination of tools, support, and affordability necessary to make it a reality. Visit panoplybpo.com. That's PANOPLYBPO.com to schedule your no obligation consultation today. Mention WTYM and get your 13th month of service for free. PanoplyBPO.com. There is a better way.
Oh man. Growing up, it was probably Eric Dressen because
Okay.
I was short and stocky, and he was also, and I just loved his style. He was great, and he's still. It, I'm lucky enough to live in Los Angeles and see him all the time around.
Oh, nice.
But he's yeah, from my youth, it's probably him. I grew up in outside of Dallas, and I used to go to these Dallas skate parks, and I was raised around like a bunch of like the Zorlak team,
Mm.
and this guy Mike Crum. He was about my age. I think he's my age, and he was just a monster. He was more of a vert skater, but I spent a lot of time skating with him and got to kind of reconnect with him at trade shows when I got older. And we talk about it because it's not like we were best friends, like at the skate park. But I'd be like, hey, I used to skate with you every day at Jeff Phillips skate park. And he was like, I remember. Because he used to flow me product. Same with the Zorlak guys. I was kind of on like flow team for them.
Oh, nice. I
So,
didn't know that.
But Zorlak was like they were very Hessian. They had a Pusshead was doing all their graphics, and they were just, like white guys with long dreads, like dirtbaggish looking Hessian guys. But they were just amazing. It was back in the Ram days. But I think so. I mean, I had a lot of people that influenced me in skateboarding and kept me in skateboarding, which is actually where I got my career started. So, but I think Eric Dressen was probably I identified closest with Eric Dressen.
From your ute, from the times of your ute.
Yes.
So his second question is, he goes, who was your boss at Foster's Freeze? And was he the best boss ever?
Second best boss ever. First was Nicole East. She was my boss at Kid Robot. But my best friend Clown was my boss at Foster's Freeze. And I met him one day at a graduation party. I just graduated high school. And I met him, and he had been making some noise and painting graffiti, and I had just gotten into graffiti. And then 2 days later, I show up for my first job out of high school at Foster's Freeze, and he's taking the trash out. And he goes, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "It's my first day." And he was like, "Oh, sit down." And he made me strawberry pancakes.
That's an amazing story. And I never knew that till he asked that. He's like, I always bust him for it. And I was like, I didn't even know that shit.
Yeah, Clown hates it. Hates the story, but it was true. And he was just like, no. He was like, have you eaten? And I was like, no. And he was like, I want to make you breakfast. And so, I'm wearing my little Foster's Freeze polo shirt.
Fuck you.
And I'm about to be trained on the milkshake machine. But he wouldn't let me get trained. I was already clocked in. He wouldn't let me get trained until I had a proper strawberry pancake breakfast.
He's like, he has to experience the products.
Yeah.
At a high level. That's awesome.
And he still to this day asks me if I've eaten. He doesn't cook for me anymore, but
He'll ask.
It wasn't his food. It was Foster's Freeze's food.
Oh, I got it. Okay, before I ask this next question, I have a background change. People are not going to be able to see this, but I probably will post it.
Very nice.
Thanks. I'll post it on the if you go to the Word to Your Mama page, it will be under his image. I'll definitely have this. See this? Woo-hoo-hoo. Next question is, ask him why he hates the name Ginger Snapper so much. And this is from one of my best friends, Aaron Callahan, aka my rib.
Hey, Aaron. I don't hate it.
You it's did at once.
I'm just not ginger.
I know. That's
so I feel it takes away from proper gingers. I feel like I'm taking credit for things. But there is a point where my beard, when I grow my beard out, just overnight it turns bright red when it hits a certain length.
Yeah, and that's how I met you.
Yes. So that's why you started calling me that.
Yeah, because and then all of a sudden I met you, and then boom, poof, you shaved it off, and then you just had this.
I do have that trait. And somebody, I think Huck sent an article about it, because I think Huck has the same thing where if his beard gets to a certain point, it turns bright red, and there is like a genetic trait that's like hiding, that like
It's dormant until a certain length,
yes.
and then it pops out full blown ginger.
So if I was a wildling living in the woods, you would probably call me, Captain Redbeard or something like that. But because I don't. But no, I think it's hilarious.
Remember at Art Basel, Aaron was there, and then like Coopster, who just fucking graduated college.
I know. Congrats, Coops.
Congrats, Coopsters. I want to have him on here as well. We've known him since he was like 10 or 11, and he just graduated art college last week. But anyways, we were all at Art Basel, and I remember
just graduate. He was Magnum cum laude.
Yeah, and he was, I don't know, I think he was still not even a teen, and he kept calling you Ginger Sam because we were calling Ginger Sam, and you were getting so upset. We were dying. Aaron and I were rolling, and then you embraced it. Was it because you knew it wasn't going to go away? that we weren't going to stop?
No, I was never like mad at it. I was jokingly mad at it. But I have good friends that are redheads that are like, why do they call you Ginger? I'm like, they're like, you didn't earn this. You weren't born into the redness. You merely embraced it.
It just works, man. It just works. Okay.
I thought it was hilarious.
Next question. Let's see. Okay, I have two good ones here. Do you see a big difference in the mentality of graffiti communities, scenes in LA, Santa Cruz, New York, and Texas? All places that you have resided in. This is from Raka, by the way.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Each one is so different. I was lucky that in my graffiti career, like I worked in a graffiti mail order, one of the only ones in the country.
You did?
Yes, that was one of my first big jobs. So Bill's Wheels in Santa Cruz, California, they had a graffiti mail order business, and that's what Bill used to have, like just all the employees pull shirts and ship out and do all that. But he hired me to specifically run graffiti mail order for him because it was so big, and we were like one of the the main people carrying like tribal streetwear. Or we had all the graffiti magazines and graffiti videos and graffiti tips, which we used to order. That's a whole nother story that brought me into a different point in my career. But we used to order huge boxes of tips. So we were one of the main people in the whole United States for people to get shit from.
Oh.
So I was running that. So this is pre-internet. They're not ordering off the internet. They're literally calling me, and I'm walking around the shop describing a tribal shirt. I'm like, it's kind of airbrush, and there's a DJ, and there's a break dancer, and or it's just like this is the tribal T logo with just the T that makes the hexagon, and like
that's crazy.
So all those phone conversations connected me with so many people across the country. And then we started a graffiti magazine. And the whole kind of backing of that magazine, Bill paid for the whole thing. First did it with, we did the first issue with my buddy John, who wrote Chaos from Santa Cruz. And then later they brought in one of my best friends of all time, Reggie Retro, who's in my graffiti crew. So it was me and him doing the magazine. He was doing most of the design part. But his and I's connections by doing the magazine and just globally, we're just getting packets of photos. Dope. And that became such a, like I said, there's the internet. There is some graffiti sites, but you're not ordering stuff off of it or whatever, and
Yeah,
just
you're just seeing it. Like they're just showing pictures of shit.
yeah, just we just became friends with just all these people. I had a whole European trip with three other guys in my crew. Clown was one of them. That I just had a list of phone numbers in my wallet, no cell phones, and I'm just
Ah,
landing in like Copenhagen, or I'm like going to be there the next day, and I'm calling up graffiti writers, being like, "Hey, we're going to be there the next day." Amazing community
nice.
that all came together. So I was lucky that was pre like super washed out internet, that I was able to see all of these different locations and deal with these locations. So even Santa Cruz had a different um, vibe than San Francisco, even though they're only an hour and a half away.
Yeah, I
You know,
bet.
and then when I lived in New York, it was a completely different mentality than LA. You know, and then moving to LA, and I've been here like almost 12 years now, I guess.
Wow.
That's and knowing everybody from so all those connections back then are still the same people I hang out with in LA now. Like they're the people that know that I did the magazine, and we became friends back then, and we did graffiti jams in St. Louis, and we did graffiti jams in Phoenix, and we were all over the place, and it was just it was a beautiful time. It was fun, and then those connections, they're still standing 25 years later.
That's amazing.
And yeah, so roundabout way of asking the questions. Answering the question. There's huge differences, and I like to think that I tried to learn in my graffiti work, at least. Like I learned from each one of those.
Yeah.
And I lived in Boston for a year. Like I picked up a lot there. Like I did, but New York was LA's been a huge influence to me. And then when I moved to New York for about 8 years, I kind of stopped painting, but was just surrounded by graffiti, and everybody I hung out with was graffiti writers. That when I moved to LA, I had a completely different approach to my graffiti.
Mm.
And I think it showed, like even to my own crew, they were just like, whoa, what the hell is going on here? I revamped myself with everything I learned um, from these people in New York. They influenced me to do this, but I still have that West Coast little bit of flavor.
Yeah.
But it's harder to see now because the world is so wide open with Instagram and with
Yeah.
with everything. So
You don't have to travel to get
it's
to see the
yeah,
influences.
and there's less regional styles.
Mm.
I think is a big thing. That used to be the thing. Is like,
You could
I mean, it
tell.
was even in Los Angeles, you could tell who was a West Side cat, who was a Mid City cat, and who was
Mm.
an East Sider. But that's the lines are blurred now for better or worse.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with it either way, but it's yeah, it's just a beautiful thing. I love that. I love that community so much, and like graffiti did more for my professional career than anything else did. The fact that I started writing graffiti.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have touched a computer if I didn't start writing graffiti,
Wow.
because that's when I wanted to make T-shirts,
And
and
you
I
had
used
to
to
get
wake
on
up.
it. You had to teach yourself, right?
Yeah, and the same thing at Bill's Wheels. I used to live upstairs at Bill's Wheels, and would wake up early and go down to the computer room where we were making the magazine, and I would spend like an hour trying to make T-shirts
Nice.
for myself, and then I would go open up the shop, and then work, and then eventually I bought my own computer, and then I started doing all that, and it just
And now look at you. Look at you now, man. And
right
I
now
say
just
this every
old and
time.
washed up.
No, I say this every time on any podcast that you're on or we talk or whatever. Like, your files are some of the clean. Like, everyone should be this organized and clean. And also, you know, anyone could be a designer. Anyone can go to class now, and especially just the programs themselves. They've like just in the past 5 years have advanced so much where there was certain things that took us multiple steps to achieve. Now there's a
Yeah.
one button,
Yeah.
which is,
And I don't even know them.
it's crazy. And I'm learning, and you know how I'm learning them? TikTok, aka TikTok. I
Yeah.
follow this one chick. I was like, what? She showed me this one shit. I'll send it to you guys later. But, that being said, having the design aesthetic, having that eye, it's something you can't really teach, right? And as a designer, you also have these like subcategories of what's in your wheelhouse, what you're good at, what's your skill set. And Ginger Snapper, Shane Jessup here is one of the best book designers because that's a skill and it's yes, that's a whole set, that's a whole different skill set. Because I remember it wasn't even a book. I was a Hits magazine. I was doing one page, the Rap Attack page. And I learned so much just being at that job. I don't know, not even a year of like, I forgot all the terms, but like those little rivers or the whatever and the gut and the da-da-da, like, visually all these different things and how shit flows. And I learned so much. And that was just one page. Maybe sometimes we would extend to 2 pages and I'd be like, ew, this sucks. Like, it's not in me like to just do that. Like I really had to try really hard, and you're doing full blown crazy thick ass books that you incorporate the artwork, the photos and shit with all that copy. It's a skill, Ginger Snappers, and you do it very,
It
very
is, but
well.
well, I appreciate it. But there's a lot of people involved in those. Usually there's a lot of people involved in those books. There's copy editors, there's whoever's putting out the book usually has way too much to say, and like just cram it full of photos. And they're like, dude, you got a 2,000 word story that I'm trying to get in here. But yeah, all the things you're talking about with the rivers and making sure it was a weird skill set I picked up because I was just pushed into it.
Yeah.
It was literally just like, it was just literally like, hey, we're going to start making books. Can you fly to my house right now and start making books or magazine? And I'm like, oh, okay. And that was with Quark Express.
Oh, yes, Quark Express. It's still around though, right? But like no one really uses it.
I don't know now that Adobe kind of just took everything.
Someone like within the last year, someone said something, asked me about Quark Express.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's still around.
I believe it is.
But like, who uses that? That's crazy.
I think it might. I might be totally wrong, but I look at it as it's still kind of a European thing. Or maybe in Asia, because a lot of books are printed in Asia.
True. So they kept it around.
But the way InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator all work with each other.
Yeah, it's just a better route.
Makes the workflow easier. But I'll do big stints working on a book, and then I want a break.
Yeah,
it's hard. it's a lot of math, and it's to go back to what you're saying, what my files are like. That's the way my book files are. I know not everybody does it, but if you click on a text box, it's the decimals of where it lands on the X or Y points are perfect.
Love that.
Everything has to be. I'm so OCD about it. It's a curse. I wish I could just throw everything together and just call it a day. But a lot of that was because a good chunk of my career in different aspects was working with other people's files and just being like, this is just a mess.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
Same.
And hidden layers and things happening that I'm like, why do you're just giving me a mess,
Yeah. And when, I worked in the music industry, and when I was just starting out and I was a designer, on the designer level, we would get shit that we paid for. There was a company, the company Tour Design. Like, so you have a tour, right? Say you're like back in the day, say like you're like Willie Nelson, and Willie Nelson has a tour. So then they pay this company tour design to do your what they call AdMat, and then it would be in different sizes, horizontal, vertical, blah 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 blah. Half page. This is when a lot print was like super heavy, and it wasn't really internet, no digital. And then I'd get you pay a grip of money to get this file, and I'd be like, "What are all these? What?" I'd be so upset. I'd be like, "I could do so much better. Just give me the money," which I started doing, and people started paying me to do that shit what tour design would do. But I'd be like, this is a professional company. This is what they're paid to do. This is their only job. And I get files that aren't labeled. Like you said, shit, hidden shit, unnecessary shit. I mean, we're getting hella nerdy about it, but it's true. And that's why I was like, I don't care if I never have to send my file. But if I do, my shit's ready to roll. Or if I know I'm going to give it to someone, then I even more so did it go through everything. Delete, 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 organize, organize, or levels.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, I think it's the polite thing to do.
Yeah.
I still do
it home training.
with all the, I mean, not half, but I'd say over a quarter of my job doing all these mural jobs is actually doing digital work and getting people's files and setting them up so I can either project it or maybe cut vinyl for a paragraph of text that has to go on the mural or something like that, and so I'm still dealing with it with other people's files like that, where I'm just like, what is this and why?
Exactly.
And like,
exactly.
it's, I don't think it's ever going to change.
I know.
Kid Robot was the worst.
Ooh.
Dealing with, because I was I kind of had to prep all the other artists' files.
Oh, and maybe some didn't even know what really they were doing anyways, barely.
Some, I mean, like literally crayon drawings, a photo, an old cell phone photo of a crayon drawing on a napkin. No joke. And that's actually, no joke, that was a big artist that did that.
Wow.
Like literally like a sidekick photo.
Sidekick. Look it up, kids. Sidekicks.
And then, but then artists that I thought were like, I'd be excited. I get an Illustrator file and be like, okay, they know what they're doing. But then open it up and just be like, what are you doing? Again, another huge artist.
I bet you my files are nowhere as nice, and I feel like mine are pretty decent, but I'm sure they're nowhere as nice as yours.
I'm getting a little more lax on it a bit. Yeah. But it's an OCD thing too. Like I just have to have it like that.
I think that's why it works.
I'll wake up and run to the computer and be like, I forgot to center. And then resend the file at like 3 a.m. and be like, ignore the last one. This one moved 0.001 inches to the left.
That's why you're good at the books. That's why you're good at the books, man. You need that shit. You
think so, but I'm not classically trained like a lot of the people I really look up to that design books that design by the Swedish grid system and do everything very, but a lot of the books what I used to work on, those guys would come in and set up the templates. And then I would come in and just destroy everything. Like me and whoever is putting the book out. Like, this page is designed to only have this and one image and this much text. But it'd be like, let's throw 14 photos on that page and
as much text as possible. Yeah.
And that's when we were working with publishers too. So publisher, you send the files off to the publisher and the publisher be like, no, you can't have a line break in the middle of a word in the whole book, 500 something page book.
Shit.
So you have to, mess with the kerning and make sure everything and do hard returns and do things to make
returns. Sure. Yeah.
So it was like, it was just a lot of, but it was just trial by fire,
Yeah. You're just giving me like flashbacks, man, of me in that room. And then the art director, she was like, and then this and this. And I was like, what? I was like, this sucks. That's why I didn't stay there that long. I was like, I'm outies.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question. The last comment question from the audience is, what piece of art that you've created are you most proud of? And this is by your nephew, the Supernatural Bear.
Aw. Love that dude. Most proud. I don't know. I really love the paintings I was finishing up last year.
Yes, those are great.
And I'm pretty proud of them, but I have to see them all day, so
You're over them.
I mean, there was a lot of things, like my first dunny and my 8-inch dunnies. I was really proud of, even though they're so super simple. Man, there's a lot. It's hard. I forget a lot that I did.
Yeah.
And that's not like a braggadocious comment. It's just I literally.
I've just done so much. I cannot.
No, but I've had a weird trajectory where I'll randomly see files on my computer and be like, oh man, I totally forgot about that. Like I did that.
Because you've done so much. You're so prolific, Ginger Snapper. Prolific.
I'm not trying to say it like that, but it's
No,
but
I'm saying it like that, like it's true. You've done so much.
I've had multiple careers, kind of.
Yeah.
But all of them kind of are in the same wheelhouse, but then they kind of they move here and there.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I think my last sets of paintings that I was working on at the beginning of 2020.
Yeah, those are great.
But I was going to show. I was going to have a little art show, and then the universe said nope.
Said nope, squash that shit.
So now they're just all hanging on my wall, and I have to see them every day. But every once in a while, I look over and I'm like, oh, yeah, I like that.
I did those. I did that shit.
I'm proud of that.
Nice. I'll definitely post pictures of those. So we're already an hour in, but let me do just a few of the not so rapid fire questions, aka the slow as hell questions. Let's start with the first one. 3 words to describe yourself, Ginger Snappers.
Not a gender.
Perfecto.
I don't know. Quiet, humble, caring.
Yes, I concur. But I will say with one caveat is that you're quiet, but when you get drunk.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely I'm Irish.
You're not loud. You just bring
I'm
it
happy.
up. Yeah, you're happy and you like to conversate and get into details. And we love it.
Oh yeah, my stories are long.
And we love it. Okay, what's the best piece of advice you received?
Don't sweat it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Move on.
Nice.
That's
I can't
try to live by that. Sometimes it's not the easiest, but it's
Yeah, we forget. We all forget.
Can't change the past, man. And it's cliche, but don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah, but it's true. We have,
and that's
all have to be reminded of it.
It's something I've really learned, and I can see the difference from a couple years ago till now. I was having this conversation the other night, like with my buddies. It's like, if you're cut off in traffic, or someone didn't hold the elevator for you going into work at Live Nation, which was every freaking day. But I have friends that'll let that bother them for the whole day, and that's all they'll talk about. They lost a parking spot or something. It's like, and I used to be that way, and now I'm like, why? I might do a honk and a little finger gesture, but it's straight out the straight out the other head, the other ear. I'm just like, no, it's fine. Whatever.
Nice. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat the small stuff. Okay, let me see. Let me do one or two more. Definitely the song. We got to do the song one. Song that to get you hyped when you need it.
Whoo. That changes daily. Right now is Billy Dan's Southern Man.
I don't know what that is. I'm definitely going to have to look it up. I'll definitely have a link to that.
You know who Billy Dan's is? Yeah?
I don't think so.
One half of the great MOP, Mashed Out Poppy.
Oh, see.
So he released an album last year, a solo album, and it's like grown man, hardcore rap.
I'll have to check it out for sure.
He has a video for every song, I think, on the album. I think he's almost got one for every song, and he's older now. He's still MOP.
Oh, but you sent us one of those videos.
Yeah, and every once in a while, like on my Instagram stories, I use that song a lot.
Yeah, and then you sent us a video, and he's just chilling. He's just right there, but it's still hard as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also like it's very intelligent hoodlum type stuff.
Got it.
So he, but I mean that right now, like hypes me up.
That's your go-to heavy rotation.
Right now, yeah.
Okay, the last question for the day is the WandaVision question.
Oh no. Okay.
It's where I got it from a chat member when I was listening to Fat Man Beyond. And it said, who from the past would you want to bring back to watch TV with you, a la WandaVision?
To specifically watch WandaVision?
No. A la WandaVision. Like, you know how she just brought homeboy Vision back just to watch TV. Okay. Like, it was like, who would you, famous, not famous, someone in your family, someone that's passed, who would you bring back to just sit and watch TV together with?
I mean, this is kind of the, dead or alive, who would you want to have a beer with?
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Oh, man. I think because WandaVision won't get out of my head, I would love to sit down with Jack Kirby. And that's not the end all be all of who I would want to.
But one of the many.
With. But that would be and literally just watch WandaVision.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
I really, I looked up to him as an artist. He's changed my trajectory for sure. All the comic book world did.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Just rapid fire off the hip, I would say Jack Kirby.
Nice. Well, then there it is, Ginger Snappers. We did it.
That was quick.
But we did it, and we're here.
We did, and I appreciate it.
So thank you so much, Ginger Snappers. You're not a ginger, but you have the gene, the recessive gene, that you pop out ginger traits.
Just from my chin.
Just from your chinny chin chin.
For some reason.
But we love you. And like I said, quality Caucasians only up in here.
Thank you. I'm going to make a shirt.
Quality Caucasians only up in here. All right.
Yeah, but I really do appreciate it. Love you guys. And happy birthday. Belated birthday.
Oh, thank you. It'll be super belated when this comes out, I'm sure. But gracias. Yeah. And happy early birthday, but also happy belated birthday to you.
By the time it comes out.
Yeah. I'm a Taurus, though, and you're a crazy-ass motherfucking Gemini, right? Am I right?
Yep.
You motherfuckers.
No, ask all my exes about it.
The worst.
I know.
Have your kids been in a house playing video games in your space way too long? Now you can get them outdoors and still be social while social distancing at the skate side after school and group skateboarding classes. Skate students get to improve their skating and decompress after a long day or week of school. This program is awesome for beginners to get started or advanced skaters to take their skills to the next level. Go to theskateside.com and learn about our COVID-safe programs in Santa Monica, Culver City, Glendale, and South Pasadena. That's theskateside.com. The Skate Side. More kids skating.
And now, introducing
The Supernatural Bear Corner. Supernatural Bear. Hello, everyone. This is SME, and today, as it is at the time of this recording, my Uncle Ginger Snapper's birthday, today I'm going to give you a couple of facts about him. Fact number 1. He is a Gemini, like my dad. That's cool. Geminis, 2 heads are better than 1.
You're crazy.
They're not crazy, Mom. What the heck? She just does that because she's in a love and hate relationship with my dad right now. Anyway, today's about my Uncle Ginger Snapper. So, fact number 2. He's an artist, and a very good artist at that. He goes all over the world making art stuff. Making murals, making pieces, making sometimes even a couple little clay models or something. You know, occasionally. And fact number 3. He is an awesome uncle.
Oh.
An awesome uncle, indeed. I really look up to him, and I think he's a really good person. In the outside and the inside.
No.
Those were the top 3 reasons why my Uncle Ginger Snappers is awesome. Thank you for listening to Word to Your Mama.
Shooby-doo. Yeah. There it is. Episode 32 with Shane Jessup, a.k.a. Ginger Snappers. Correct. What'd I say? Quality Caucasians. Quality Caucasians. He is one for sure. Also, if you want to check out more of his artwork, you want to hire him for shit, you know, he got the qualifications for other things, for the machine, the lift or whatever, go check him out at shanejessup.com. He also has this Latchkey Social Society where he has some, you know, shirts and other types of things, pins, bottle openers, coasters, pendants, pendant flags and stuff like that. Especially if you're Gen X, this is like so up your alley. Go check out latchkey.social. And he's also single, ladies. Single and ready to mingle. As you heard, he was on the verge of being fully vaxxed, fully inoculated. And don't forget, Chet Hanks said it's a white boy summer. That includes the gingers. So check him out. As always, thank you for supporting. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all the things. Leave a review. Tell your peeps. Tell your friends. What else? Yeah. I hope he has a good birthday, you know. Memorial Day weekend. You know, just be as safe as you can. And with that, we reap. Word to Your Mama is owned and produced by Ritz P. The intro is produced by Nico Beats. If you want to get a hold of us and see other things, all there is to know, go to wordtoyourmama.com. And as always, Word to Your Mama is brought to you by ritzyperiwinkle.com and panoplybpo.com.